Welcome back to Our Talks. Welcome to a very, very special episode. As you can see in the background there, I can't really see the balloons, but they say 50 on them because this is the 50th episode of this podcast. Woo! Oh, we've done it. I was talking to my friend yesterday and I said I didn't think I'd last a month doing this, but here we are after 50 weeks of one daily episode a week. So this special episode I'm going to dedicate to one of my favorite lead singers from a band. You can see him there. In this patch right here. And that man, of course, is Lemmy, who was born today on the 24th of December 1945, and who unfortunately passed away in 2015. At the back of this vest actually is a massive, I'm wearing a Lemmy t-shirt as well that I was wearing for the comedy show that I did in the Castle Inn. And at the back of this vest there is a huge Lemmy patch. I'll show it to you, give me a second. There it is. It gives this famous line, "Born to lose, live to win." That patch was a pain in the ass to get on. It was a head wreck, but anyway. So in this special episode I will be talking about my favorite genre of music. I'm just going to lean a little back so you can see the banner in the background, the balloons. Yeah, I'm really happy that I got to 50 episodes. In 2 weeks time we'll be celebrating 1 year doing podcasts and not missing a single week for 52 weeks. Which is pretty cool, I think. But yeah, so I have some notes here about, I think the last Heavy Metal Memories episode I did, I talked about Sophie Lancaster and how her death impacted everyone in the metal and rock and roll community. And there was a movie called Heavy Trip that was released in 2018. I'll put a link to the trailer down below in the description. But yeah, this movie was shot in Finnish, and there was no English version, so you had to watch the movie with subtitles, which I don't mind. I've always enjoyed watching the movie with subtitles because I like hearing movies in different languages. And so, in a bit of a spoiler kind of, but at the very start of that movie, the movie's about four guys who are in a band in a small town in Finland. In this town, it's a very small town, and they're kind of the only metalheads. They're the outcasts. But at the very start of the movie, the main character, Toro, he's walking down the stairs into the basement of a reindeer slaughterhouse, where the band is all set up and they're practicing. And just as he walks through the doors, and before he reaches the stairs, he says, "I'm a metalhead and we have a band." I remember watching this movie, and he goes to, when they start practicing, go on about the band, all the different members, and he says, "They've been practicing as a band for 12 years, they've never played any gigs." And he said, most of the guys in town, they like driving cars and chasing pussy. But they said, kind of like outcasts. And that really, struck with me, because that's, for me, for a while, that's what it was like growing up as a metalhead and whatever else. But yeah, it's if you get a chance to watch it, do. It's a really, really good movie. It's brilliant watch. If you don't mind reading the subtitles, but like I said, I don't. Some people would be very unhappy about that and the likes. But that's that anyway. Yeah, 50 episodes. I was going to record this earlier in the week, but I left it till today because, since I'm going to be talking about metal, might as well record it on Lemmy's birthday. And Lemmy's favourite drink was Jack Daniels and Coke. Even now, if you go into metal bars and ask for Lemmy, then they should know what that is. a week, I think Lemmy knew he was dying, and a week before Lemmy died, I remember Ozzy Osbourne putting this up on his website or on Facebook. He said he rang Ozzy and he said to Ozzy, if I didn't do all the drugs and alcohol, probably would have given me another 10 years. But he said those 10 years would have been worth it. Because, they grew up in the era of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Kind of the first big band to kind of get into it, was the first big rock star in the world was Elvis. There was no one before him. And, like Elvis didn't know how to, how to be a rock star, because there was no precedence before him. And then after him there was the Beatles, and then you have all these other huge bands, like Stones, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Metallica, and the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, I remember the year after Lemmy passed away, I was sitting at a friend's house, two of us, and we were listening to Black Sabbath's War Pigs. And yeah, it was around Christmas time. I think it might have been 23rd or 22nd. We were like, oh shit, Lemmy's birthday's this week. But this, he would have been gone a year at this stage, and we were trying to remember, it was like, was it a year or 2 years? But I think it was a year. Right? It just really struck us because I remembered that phone call that Ozzy and Lemmy had. Plans for going forward into the new year. Actually, I'm going to check in the calendar if I'll get one more episode out before the end of the year. When is... Okay, so New Year's is Saturday next week. Yeah, okay, so there'll be one more episode out. Actually, no, hold on. Yeah, the 12th of January is when I started podcasting, and that's a Wednesday. So how many episodes do we get between that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 more podcasts to go then before that one. As I was saying, I was planning to do a big guest episode for this, but I'm having problems acquiring equipment and scheduling's a bit, and because it's become kind of, I don't know, well, I don't know if it would be possible to actually meet one of the people now, so it's going to be, I'm going to reschedule to a time where I can better, what am I saying? Yeah, I'm going to reschedule it to a time when I can better organize the stuff and all of that, and we'll have more preparation time, because it was kind of cutting it, because after the Christmas show I was planning to do in 2 or 3 weeks, but it's just it was very kind of, because like I said, leading up to the Christmas show at the Castle Inn, all I did was do open mics. It was very struggling a lot to even bring out a podcast, but like I said, didn't miss 50 weeks, so like I said, to be honest, I didn't think it would go on this long. I really didn't. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing. I'm really looking forward to doing more in the future. Obviously, I'm not going to stop now. I'm going to keep going. Like I said, I've got some merch that hopefully should be coming in soon. I just ordered samples of stuff I'm thinking about actually purchasing, so they should be in a couple of days time. Hopefully we get them and see if I'm happy with it. I'll actually get a bulk order. It'll be stickers. Once I get the samples, I'll reveal them here and on my Instagram and Facebook. Actually, I was just looking at the calendar again. It'll be in 2 weeks time. There'll be 52 episodes, because of the way it doesn't matter. But yeah, so week 53 will be me. I'll release the podcast. I know it's usually Tuesday's schedule, but I think I'll release it that day on the 12th, and I'm just going to keep doing that every year. I'm going to release it on the day that I started, because the calendar moves a day ahead each year. But yeah, I mean, Where's that little balloon again? Big 5-0. Got here eventually. But yeah, I just want to, even reflect back on the year. Thank you for all the support and all. So far, I'm really happy with, the podcast for this year. It's been a difficult year for everyone. COVID is still rampant and whatever, but keep our spirits high. Hopefully we'll be out of this situation soon. And to everyone who's in the metal family, rock and roll, happy birthday, Lemmy. I'll be having a whiskey for you later on in the day. And thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all later.